Huh? Let's go, baby. Let's go. Lock in. Lock in. Do it. Do it. That's how we rock, baby. Checking it. Pros. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Full Circus. My name is Tristan. Sartoris, and I'm happy to be here with you guys again for the second time tonight. If it sounds like I have been talking nonstop for the past 40 plus minutes, that's because I just recorded an entire beautiful comedy gold-filled episode and forgot to plug my mic in. Holy crap. The mistake to end all mistakes, some have say. You can have lighting errors, you can have camera adjustments and filters and angles and backdrops and skateboards falling and whatnot, and you can hit your face in the microphone, but the sound, the quality, having any sound at all, might be crucial. In fact, might be critical to running a podcast, some are saying. I just did the whole thing only to find out the only audio that played was the intro. There you go. Then 39 and a half minutes of silence. So that's awesome. That's great. And you're watching a man in his element on the brink of collapse. Okay, this is a very high pressure and stressful situation because I don't have time necessarily to record a whole other episode, but I'm going to do it anyways, because this show is a priority and we're doing 240 of them. Granted, haven't gotten better at the technical side, but if we're not good at performing, we at least have to remain consistent, okay? My number one superpower is showing up. What I do when I get there is Go gadget. Vocabulary is irrelevant. So anyways, let's have ourselves a time. Let's deal with it, okay? And I'm going to show you guys, all right? I am a bit worried. There's a lot going on right now at the moment. However, I am going to show you and be a perfect example of what it looks like to remain zen after I finish screaming for the first 3 minutes in the face of danger. We're still going to have a grand old time and make it work because that's what heroes do. And look, in the end, yes, does this suck? Do I wish I had like an hour or something to kind of let it wash over me and recharge? But obla-dee, obla-do, life goes on, baby. C'est la vie. We're going to roll with the punches because, look, it's either going to work out or it's not. And you might as well just believe it's going to and then deal with it when it doesn't. And everything's just much... Look, everything does work out. You know when your parents would just say, hey, everything's going to be okay. And you go, you don't get it, Mom. They were laughing at me because I stepped in gum and they had it on the bottom of my shoe the whole time. And, you know, everything feels so much bigger in the moment, but I'm choosing to look at myself as my mother would and just say it's going to be okay without having any idea of the high, intense, angsty circumstances that are podcasting. And it really is. I mean, truly, when your parents would say everything's going to be okay, was it ever not okay? Things always were okay, whether it was okay in the situation or it took a little bit of time, okay? But I'm going to let it be okay now. Let it be okay now. So now, let's be okay. Anyways, what's going on? I don't really want to revisit the last 40 minutes of conversation because it's been a bit played out. But that's the beauty of life is I can talk nonstop and share with you on a variety of different things and topics that we can excuse ourselves to converse about. I did get a haircut. Okay, and that should be the first thing that you guys notice. I don't care if you're just listening to the show. You should be like, I sense a lack of cascading follicles from this young gentleman's face. And it's very true. However, yes, it does look good. Yes, it was a $14 haircut. Yes, I make it look like 15, but no, it was not what I asked for. I went in trying to get just a trim, just a tickle, just a little cleanup. And she cut half of it off, but you can't really expect much when you go to decent clips. And I showed her the headshot like I normally do, and I go, this is what I'm looking for. They go, we can do that, no problem. And it was a sweet Southern lady this time. And A few minutes into the haircut, things are going great, natural conversations flowing. I go, wow, this isn't weird at all. For the first time I'm getting a haircut, and there's no weird, awkward, story to befall me. And then she goes, man, you got really great hair, my friend. Do you mind if I just play with the layers here for a minute? I'm still going to get you what you're looking for, but I think I could just kind of make this work even better for you. And I go, sure. I have no idea what that means. I don't know what layers are, but have at it. Sweet Southern lady, I trust you. Not even 1 second after those words escaped my lips, she went up. And if you are being operated on in any sense, whether it's hair or heart surgery, when someone goes, yep, you go, huh? Right? I don't care if I'm under freaking anesthesia. If you're operating on me and I hear the surgeon go, I go, what? What happened? She goes, okay, well, cut a bit of a chunk off there, but we could work with this. I'm still going to get you what you want. Okay. And now she's nervous, and I'm like a dog on the leash, sensing the nervousness. I go, well, the trust that I had for you, zing, out the window. So now she's fooling with it, trying to make it look as well as she can. And she's like, look, see, it's still flowing, it's still kind of being combed back. And I was like, that's because it's wet, and also it's not. And she's trying to negotiate with me into how good the haircut is. It's like, I understand, and it's okay. Look, I'm not actually upset. It's going to grow back tomorrow. Again, like this show, like me messing up on the first part, oh-blah-dee-oh-blah-do, life goes on, okay? Things are going to be inconvenient. Sometimes you're going to shoot yourself in the face, but you got to be able to redirect that bullet, pull it out, and say, it's not that bad. Don't try that, literally. Yeah, she was trying to sell me on how good the haircut was. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. It looks great. And she's like, see how much easier kind of flows? Like, yeah, that's because it's not there. And they do that all the time. Like, well, look how much hair's on the ground. Like, yeah, you cut it all off. But again, it looks fine. I'm a stud through and through, and I can appreciate that. Thank you, Lord. And, mostly thanks my parents, because got the genes from them, right? But anyways, she was very sweet. I still tipped her, but it's an unfortunate situation when you go and you look for something and they say, well, I can do that. And then you know what? I should take some blame. She asked to play with it. She said, like a child asking to go play in the street, and I was like, sure, have at it. And then she got hit by a car and we both got in trouble, but everything works out for the better. I will say the worst part about it, again, it's not that big of a deal. It looks fine. It looks great. It's going to grow back very immediately. It's like a weed. But the weather just dropped off a cliff for some reason. By the way, beautiful fall. Actually, before I go anywhere, I don't know what's happening to me lately, but when I've been talking to people specifically that come from out of Ohio, I keep talking about the fall here, okay? And I stop myself in the immediate conversing of such topics. They are like, so what's it like in Ohio? And they're asking about, amusement parks and the community and hotspots and, what's it like? What's the atmosphere like in Ohio? And instead I go, well, the falls are amazing. Like I sit in a coffee shop and read a good book. I don't know who I'm becoming, but I keep going, I'm sorry. I don't even know you. And I don't know I don't want this to be your impression of me. They go, oh, you're from Ohio. What's that like? Well, the fall, oh, they're so amazing. Yes, they're great, but it's not like you haven't experienced fall before, okay? It's like some alien. I'm like, well, wind? There's more of it. Leaves? Change in color sometimes? Not even there. So I keep shutting that down, and I can't imagine what that experience is like for someone. What's fall like? Well, it's just, I'm sorry. I get frustrated with myself. No, you're not going to talk about the weather, Tristan. You're not going to talk about the seasons. You're a fun guy. You're exciting. You have conversations. Okay. That's for boring people. Boring people talk about the fall weather. So anyways, point is that, the fall is nice, and I just got a haircut, but now it's really cold, and, I don't have the insulation that I need for it. So bit of an inconvenient sitch, but again, that's the theme of the day, okay? Sometimes there are errors, sometimes there are slip-ups. Speaking of which, my license expired, didn't renew it, and they made me go and take the little written exam again for my motorcycle license. And I have to say this. Very, very nerve-wracking. Okay? One, my fault. Okay? Again, should have avoided the situation, shot myself in the face, removing the bullet. Don't try it at home. And I go in there, and you think when you're taking the written exam, very simple. Oh, what do you do at a green light? Go. When you see the freaking deaf children sign crossing, what do? Sign language. And, there's just the very on-the-nose questions. How do you drive? It's very easy to pass. At least that's how I remembered it, okay? I go in there, and you can miss 10 out of the 40 questions. I missed the first 8, okay? I am immediately sweating, okay? I'm 26 years old, and if they looked over, like, my hands are shaking, I'm like, don't look around, you're gonna freaking listen to the little headphones they give you. What do you do when you approach the 4 stop sign intersection, the 4-way, you to the right? I'm, like, overthinking every little thing, and the reason I missed the first 8, let me explain this, is that they all had to do with drinking and driving and DUI suspensions, okay? There was a variety of ones, like, well, when you do this and that, is it 6 months or 18 months or 10 months? And I don't know what the answer to that is because I don't drink in my life at all. So why would I commit that to my memory of what the punishments may be? Okay? If it has nothing to do with me ever, that's like asking, how would you celebrate a Brown Super Bowl win? I have no idea, dude. It's not something I plan on ever knowing. So when those questions come back, I think I failed them when I was 15 too. So coming back into them with the motorcycle license, and I'm trying to, I don't know what they were, and I'm super nervous about it. So I was sweating it out. I did pass it, but it just feels like that's so embarrassing to miss the written exam because it's all so obvious. And also, how you getting home? And it was so nerve-wracking. I feel like it got silent. Like usually the DMV is very chatty and people are typing and asking questions, and everyone smells weird and just complaining. But I feel like it all like, is that guy in the corner about to lose? Is he about to fail the written exam? Is that a grown man about to fail the written exam? And did somebody cut his hair too short? So I was super nervous going into it, but it's just par for the course. It's just par for the inconvenience that we are facing lately, guys. It is a grand old time, but it came out well. Everything worked out in the end. Okay. And thank you, Lord. And thank you, Mom and Dad, for the genes of nothing. In fact, actually, you didn't help at all with that one. But you know what? We pulled through on our own, and I'm proud of that. Anyways, guys, what else is going on? I will admit it's a little bit difficult to try and retract and be like, oh, I already talked about that. Did I mention this? Did that? Yes. And you didn't experience it, but it's like, it's like we were kind of having a party and I was using up all my stories, and then you guys just got here late, and I'm like, oh, like these, my walls, the freaking paint here. My friends, my non-existent people, I've already chatted it up. We've already had a grand old time, but I don't want to bother them with the whole thing. So now I feel like I gotta perform to a different level, and you know what? Honestly, you guys just got here. You should have to bring something. But anyways, I'll try to figure out something here. Actually, we do have a question that I wasn't able to get to in the last non-existent missing episode. And that question comes from, I was looking for paper to try and do this question segment very formally, but you'll just have to imagine it. This question does come from Bobby, friend of the show. And Bobby, I hope your fantasy football team is going well. Bobby asks, what are some of the greatest pranks you and your brothers pulled on each other growing up? Thank you, Bobby, for your question. Again, thank you for listening. A great friend of the show. We always appreciate you. Everybody give it up for Bobby. Now, greatest pranks. That's an interesting one, especially without vetting it and trying to think of some possible pranks that we pulled on each other throughout the years. I don't think there were really any pranks. I think I guess you could say my entire upbringing was a prank. I think a lot of the pranks that were pulled on me were kind of just like labeled as pranks. It was just bullying in disguise. When you're when your brothers get older, they do this thing where they hate you. And so they're going to bully you and just kind of trick you into doing things. And, oh, let's play cops and robbers. So I'm going to zip tie your hands and feet and put you in the closet while I hang out with my friends. And I fell for it. So good prank by them. But I'm sitting there in the dark going, we're having a time, guys. You know, and very fun game. Very fun for them. I was unaware of it at the time. It's only later in life you go, wait a minute. I don't think they wanted me around, you know, like pulling the wool over my eyes and then, you know, waterboarding me. Was that fun? So that's just kind of the pranks that we did. It was just a lot of games that were violent, you know, and that's what it's like having siblings. The games are normal for a little bit and you're not sure why they kind of progress towards this harshness. You're like, oh, remember we did video games and puzzles and we were like, oh, let's all take as much ibuprofen as we can and whoever gets the first headache loses. Spoiler alert, mom never wins. But then slowly we start playing these vicious games that, again, I am losing, and they're like, oh, this is a prank. This is just a joke. It's just a little practical joke. And you're like, oh, okay. Dude, freaking good one. I wish I could come up with a funny game like that. So I was always on the losing side. I think I've talked about this before, but a very popular game that we played growing up was a game called Heads Up. And if you have siblings, Heads Up goes by many different names. Oops, look out, I didn't mean to, and you know, many others as the like. But the basic gist of Heads Up is that it is a game of dodgeball that you didn't know you were participating in. And the reason it's called Heads Up is because it's kind of like a scapegoat, a buffer. To say heads up is to create an illusion that this was an accident. Again, this is just one big grand old prank on me. So what you do is you grab any sort of object that you want and you find a younger sibling and you freaking heads up and you whip it as hard as you can while I'm just sitting there doing math. I'm like, oh, freaking, so 4 plus 4. What? And I'm completely caught off guard. Mom's eyes, look at older brother. And then they decide it's award season, time to win an Oscar. This is where the prank comes into play. They go, oh my gosh, my sweet baby brother, Tristan, you know I would never mean to hurt you or trying to throw it on you purpose. I was aiming for the freaking thing. And also, Mom, I mean, you heard me say heads up, right? And this is very inconvenient for me because I'm just trying to convince my mom that clearly this was on purpose at the freaking point. This was not actually one of the pranks that I would fall for. This is one that I'd be like, freaking, Ma, you can't be falling for this crap. And meanwhile, they're just over her shoulder going, you got it. And she'd be like, Tristan, your brother is trying to apologize. Okay, my sweet mother wanting to see the good in her children. Clearly, they would never wish to act violent upon one another. She goes, whoa, he's trying to apologize. He wronged you by accident. And when we say sorry to one another, it is important to offer forgiveness. Meanwhile, I've got like just a fork sticking out of my head going, I forgive you. And that was kind of heads up. And so that's how you lose heads up, I should say. And the way you win is you don't, okay? Because they are faster, they are smarter, and they are more conniving. They will always outprank you. And so that was just another one of our little childhood games. But I don't know. I don't know if there's any real good pranks necessarily. There was the only prank I really pulled, it's called prank because it's prank phone calling, is one I am not too proud of even now, dude. And I'm proud of my errors. This one still bites me though. But I had heard about prank phone calling when I was 9 years old. I was so excited. What do you mean? We can just dial random numbers and then talk? I love to talk to people. We could just say things and then hang up. Whoa! I was so excited about this notion. What a rad time we were going to have. So I invite a friend over. We're having a sleepover. It's fun. We grab the phone. We're dialing things. Hey, is your refrigerator running? Saying very silly sentences that we've heard. And again, my brothers, very crazy high schoolers that are smarter than I am, and have friends that are just as ridiculous as them. You hear a lot of vile, heinous language at this point as a younger kid. I don't know what any of it meant at the time, but I heard it and like, oh, well, they're making fun of each other. This is all like funny. This is the funny stuff you say to each other. So we start repeating that. It's I wouldn't even say it now. It's very disgusting. We start repeating that to strangers. And it was, again, not really a good prank. This was a crime. I got technically arrested, I guess. The cops came. I got in trouble with the law for it, actually, which was very unfortunate, where the next morning a cop showed up at the door. My mom's like, freaking get back. What did you say he did? He's like, well, ma'am, he freaking caught. He was harassing this older lady, okay? Which, by the way, how I got caught was we left a voicemail. You can do a little unknown caller to anybody you want, but a grand old time, we're like, oh, a voicemail? Well, let's leave the freaking longest scroll that we can of them to read out for us in court or freaking at the precinct, where I had to go down with my parents. Like, what did you say? I was like, heads up. So it was a rough time, a very, very embarrassing situation. I was a troublemaker, I guess you could say, by accident. I actually didn't. It wasn't even. When the cop showed up, I don't even think I thought it had anything to do with that. You know, I mean, when I see the cops anytime, like when you drive by, you're like, I messed up. I don't even know. I don't remember doing anything wrong, but surely that's for me. I don't know why. But it was unfortunate. It was unfortunate. And I have never prank phone called again. And I've never said anything mean ever. Okay. That's why I became a perfect person. But anyways, that was really my greatest prank. My greatest prank was ruining and harassing some old lady, and then I had to do 20 hours of community service, so that was great. So there's not really any great pranks. It was either me getting bullied or me bullying a retirement home, I guess. The only prank I could say that was actually played was by my dad. My dad did a whole big cat fact prank. Which was very annoying at the time, but it's funny looking back at it. So he was home. He had back surgery, so he was having some downtime. And I was also at home, and I get a text message. Pops up. Hey, we are offering these new cat facts where we can send you a fresh new fact about cats every single day. Say yes if you'd like to subscribe. Say no to opt out. Me going, well, cats are cool, but no thanks. No. You just subscribed to the Daily Cat Facts. Thanks for joining. I go, what the freaking no. Keep upgrading. You just subscribed to freaking by hourly, seconds, by the minute. They keep sending me rapid fire cat facts. Like, what is going on right now? So I'm getting rapid fire cat facts. I have no idea where this is coming from. So I just block the number. I'm like, that was weird. Hours go by. My dad comes into the room just talking about the day. And I bring it up for some reason. And when I say that, his voice and his face switches. Like he's kind of like, whoa, what? I'm like, oh, yeah, I blocked this freaking cat fact thing was coming through. So I had to block it. And he goes, interesting. I go, why did that? He seemed like that was like a suspicious thing. I was like, did you get messages like that too? He's like, oh, no, it's weird that you'd be getting stuff like that. So a new number shows up because he knew that I blocked it. So he comes in from a new fake number. We're back with cat facts. Would you like to subscribe? No. You've been upgraded to the hourly cat, to the 30, to the 5, to the 1 minute. So I'm getting all these cat facts just ran down my face. So then I go to my dad because I had that inkling of suspicion.
I don't know how you've done it, but I know you've done it.
I go, Dad, have you been sending me cat facts? And this is the brilliance of the prank. Is that my dad's a very intimidating guy. So when I ask him that, he gets defensive in like an angry way. He goes, I am at home trying to recover from back surgery. You don't think I have anything better to do than send you cat facts all day? Okay, like I'm not trying to get my work done or take care of business or forget all my files. Like I have nothing to do in my life but lie around sending you some sort of fake unsolicited facts about felines. I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Like, I felt like I actually bothered. He's like, he looked like he was fuming. So I left it alone, and I just kept trying to block it. New number would pop up every freaking few hours. I was like, I guess that's just who I am now. I'm just a guy who knows a lot about cats. So I keep blocking them. Eventually they stop. He walks in. Hey, by the way, I'm like, yeah. And he's like, that was me about the cat facts. I thought he was still mad at me. I was like, that's, he was so proud of himself, and I was like, oh, I thought you were mad at me, and now I know all these things about cats. What do I do with this? Very, very funny looking back at it that he really did. He had a lot of better things to do, but he chose to spend it with me, and sending me facts about cats. You should know I'm very and I don't remember any of them, but that's a great fun thing. So anyways, Bobby, thank you for that question. I'm sorry if that wasn't all that. I wish there were more pranks, but there's a few familial Star Tours stories for you, which are always a good time. So anyways, if you guys would like to submit questions to the show, you can always do that at FullCircusPodcast@gmail.com. Which reminds me, it is almost time for our annual Halloween episode of Full Circus. And guys, you know this, I am looking for ghost stories because I don't believe in ghosts, all right? I'm an open-minded skeptic, and I want to believe so bad. So as is tradition, people write in the most spooky and bone-chilling paranormal stories that they have and try to convince me that the supernatural is, in fact, real. There is only one rule in that: it has to have happened to you. Don't repeat something from a TV show or something that you read online. I want very personal and real stories that connect with you, and by henceforth connect with me. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to reading some very scary tales. Yes, some of them have been very spooky. Some of them are good or bad. Like, some people have had some very pleasant experiences on the show we've read where, like, oh, it felt very ethereal and calming. And some people have like, I felt like I was about to die. So looking forward to that. I want to be convinced. Please send me in your spooky stories. Guys, I think that's pretty much all we have to talk about. Is there more? Could there be more? Sure. This episode would technically be an hour and 10 minutes if we had the rest of it. Oh, so sad. But you know what? C'est la vie. We're moving on, and I think we had ourselves a good little time. I think we went longer than I thought we would have in the first place. So guys, thanks for hanging out with me again, and I will see you in the next episode. Don't forget how beautiful, like the fall here is so great. Stop it! Stop! I'll see you guys. I love you. Have a merry freaking day. Where's the rest of my hair?